Alright, we're going to try recording this again because this will be the third time, and every time it gets messed up. So if you see me looking over here, that's where my computer is. So I'm trying to look at myself and make sure I'm good in frame. And then down here I have some notes for this video because I tend to ramble really bad. Well, this is the first video of us you're seeing. Or I guess just me this time, but there is two other guys on this channel. It's Pharryn the Prairie Lands. We're just generally motorcycles, cars, trucks, dirt bikes, anything with an engine, pretty much is what we're into. I specifically have been getting more into the performance side on Indian motorcycles, and for the time being, specifically the Thunderstroke air-cooled models. I have a 2018 Indian Springfield. It's sitting just outside this door behind me right now. That's the bike we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be doing some custom tuning, or well, getting set up to do some custom tuning in this video. One thing about that, if you don't know what you're doing, probably shouldn't do it. I'm going to do my best to teach anybody that's watching our videos how to do this stuff, but you're better off just taking it to someone that knows what they're doing already. Stuff's not rocket science, but you can really mess up an engine if you do this stuff wrong. That being said, this video is going to cover switching a Indian Thunderstroke model, specifically a 2018 Springfield Dark Horse, from DynoJet to HB tuners. I'm sure it would work for other Indian models. Right now, Indian is the only motorcycle company that HB tuners officially supports. I don't know if they're going to add more support for more in the future. It would be cool to see them start doing stuff for Harley and stuff like that, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything. There's a few things I had to change to go from DynoJet to HB. Well, one really. I had the DynoJet Wideband kit on my bike because my setup was so different from stock, and a wideband is always going to give you the ability to get a better tune. The more information you can get, the better, always. The DynoJet Wideband kit cannot be read by the HP Tuners MPVI2 or any of their interfaces. So I had to switch to a wideband kit that could be read. The one I picked is a Innovate Motorsports DLG1. I'll have a link for that in the description below. The reason I picked it is it's basically one device. It's one gauge, which you don't really need the gauge part of it. You just need the wideband controller, and that will output to your tuning interface if you don't want to have a gauge to look at to know what your rated bars are. I like having the gauge to look at just in case the bike starts acting goofy. I can look down and see, oh yeah, my front cylinder is dead lean right now. Let's figure that out. Doesn't happen real often, but it has happened to me a few times, so I like having the gauge. The DLG1, it's one gauge, and that gauge controls your first sensor. So the sensor that's plugged into the gauge directly will show up as sensor A, I think. It's either 1 or A on the gauge. And then there's another controller, I think it's actually just a Innovate LC2 controller. And the sensor plugged into that one will show up on the gauge as either 2 or B, whichever one it is. That's basically everything I had to change. The reason I'm making this switch is I have a Trailblazer SS that's sitting on a lift over there that I built a motor for a while back. It's a 408 stroker, big, ridiculous cam, 4 LAE trams, and all kinds of stuff. And I use HP tuners to tune that. And I was having some issues with DynoJet with their software on the computer because they are just basically actively shutting it down. They're taking away the ability to tune like your VE tables and your timing and all sorts of stuff like that. And if you can't get in and adjust that stuff, there's no reason to tune the bike to begin with. So it is, you can still have a shop tune it. Apparently there's special access for shops, but as just an individual customer, you can't get access to all those parameters. On HP tuners, there are a few things that are locked out, but you go on HP Tuner's website, you go to the, there's a emissions tab, you go through there, you take some tests. It took me like an hour and a half maybe, and I was also messing around doing other stuff during that. And then everything is wide open on any vehicle. So it just, to me, seems like a much better program. Not to mention there's a lot more stuff you can get in and mess with on HP Tuners than there is DynoJet, even before DynoJet started just taking features out of their software. Already covered things I had to change. To do this, you have to have your, if you've already tuned the bike is already tuned on DynoJet, you have to have your stock tune file on the DynoJet and your, whatever your most recent or current tune file is. You have to be able to open those up on your computer. So you have to have the PowerCore software, and you have to have an older version of it. I'm going to be posting a installer in my Google Drive for our website, or maybe I might be able to just post it up on the website. I'll look into that. I'll have it posted somewhere. There will be a link down in the comments or down in the description. It may not be when this video goes live because I'm filming this, editing it, and putting it up, and hopefully going to have this video out tonight. But yeah, I'll have that somewhere eventually. Just keep an eye out for it. And then you need the latest beta version of HP Tuner software. So the VCM editor is the one we're going to be in today, and then VCM scanner is one we'll be using in the next video to do some data logging or set up histograms and data logging. And then you need your MPVI2. And to get started, hook up you have to use your PV3 to flash your bike back to stock. I think it's restore ECU to default settings or something. And then you hook up your MPVI2 or 3 or 2 plus, whichever one you have, and open the VCM editor software and read the ECU. And then just save that as whatever your bike is. So mine saved as 2018 Indian Springfield Dark Horse stock. And then keep that file somewhere safe so you always have that to fall back on if anything happens with your tune files. Before we get into this, I'll give you a quick rundown on the current setup on the bike. It's a 2018 Springfield Dark Horse. Factory, it had the 111. Currently, it has a Trask Assault 2-in-1 exhaust, a Indian Stage 3 116 big bore kit, and then the Hanson racing cams. Cams sound really awesome. They run really good. You can't buy them anymore. So, sorry about that. I've been told Andrew, the guy that did the build on my bike, always wrote custom cycles out of Kansas City. I've been told he can buy more of those cams, but he has to buy 10 sets at a time. So I don't know if that's something he's interested in doing or what. I'm sure if 10 people got a hold of him at the same time and said, hey, I want these cams, he'd be willing to do it, but I don't know. So let's get over here on the computer. And this is your softwares here. Over here on the left we've got the VCM editor, the HP Tuner software, and here we have the DynoJet software, the C3 tuning software. This is the most recent tune I had on DynoJet. We're going to compare that to stock, and what that's going to do is that's going to show us the differences in that file and the stock file. So this is all the stuff we need to change. Pretty easy. A lot of this is just copy and paste. It's just time consuming. So fuel injector compensation factor. That is going to be that one. Here, fuel mass multiplier. One thing, some of these tables, keep a lookout right here. See, this one says this table is inverted. When you first open the software, it will show up like this, and that is backwards from how DynoJet software is. How the table is over here. So you just right click, view inverted, then close it, you open it back up, and it'll be right. One more thing while we're here, since we're running into it, cylinder 1, mag, and PTO cylinder 2. Here you have front and rear in the DynoJet software. For some reason, HP Tuners has cylinder 2 as the front cylinder. I don't know if that's how Indian does it. It doesn't make sense to me, so I would assume not, but I've been wrong before. Main thing you're doing here, just to translate this tune over, is just copy this table, make sure front, cylinder 2, and paste it. That's going to be most of this video, just copy and paste. There's some stuff we're going to have to do some math that I will show you guys how to do. It's not hard. Injector pulse width compensation factor front. It's going to be here in general. Injector pulse multiplier. Front, so we got cylinder 2. Oh, let's not mess up here. That's going to be what a lot of this video is, though. Just copy and paste. So you're just looking for what table matches what table. It's not hard. Let's go back to comparison. We've got that one closed out. This table here is going to be where we've got to do some math. Get it opened up in both of them. Target and Lambda. So DynoJet uses Target AFR. AFR is kind of an old school way to do it before we had flex fuel and stuff like that, and it was easy because, you know, 14.7 is where that fuel should be. You want to err on the rich side instead of the lean side. Lambda is the same thing. 1 is going to be your target or your stoichiometric air fuel ratio, no matter what your fuel is. So pump gas is going to be 14.7. E85 is going to be a little different. I don't know all the numbers off the top of my head. I am super new to this. But I do know to convert this to lambda, you take your number. So let's get a calculator opened up. So see, we got 13.78. So you take your 13.78 and you divide that by 14.7, which is, you take your air fuel ratio and divide it by the stoichiometric ratio for that fuel. So 13.78 is the air fuel ratio we're commanding. 14.7 is stoic for just pump gas. So you get 0.93 whatever. Then copy this if your computer wants to cooperate. And we're gonna have to do some copying or some pasting. So from here down to 54.8, and then out to 7,000. So paste. Oh no, we can't do that. We gotta paste it here and do equals. If you're not pasting the whole table, if you highlight something and paste it, it only goes in the top left cell of what you highlighted for some reason. But if you put it in this thing here and it equals, it'll replace it. So this number will fill in everything you have highlighted. It will add whatever you have here to the whole highlighted section, and then will multiply what you have in this, or your highlighted section, by what you have in the box. So I'm going to go through and finish out the rest of this table real quick. So this will be fast forwarded, but it's pretty easy. Doesn't really get complicated at all here. Nothing in this video is going to be complicated. It's just there's a little bit of math that you have to know how to do. Yeah, that doesn't work. But yeah, I will knock this out real quick, and then we will get back to changing more stuff. Okay, might have noticed in there I messed up and I skipped over one of the lines here. It's always a good idea to go back and double check, make sure stuff's the same basic shape, like the areas in the tables are the same basic shape once you're done. But I've got this done now, so we're all good on the target lambda or target AFR. We're done with that for now. So that's all done. Go back in here to general. Injection angle end. That's end of injection on HP. So EIO or EOI versus RPM versus load is going to be the same table. Best way to tell if there's like multiple tables that look pretty close or sound pretty close to the same thing, look at the axes here and see engine load. We got engine load. And the numbers are pretty much the same. RPM, same. So these are the same table, basically. So we're just gonna copy, bring that over here and paste it. Easy. This is another table that is inverted, that I had to invert when I originally did this. Once you invert them the first time, it'll stay like that. So injector latency, and that is going to be your voltage offset. That's another table. We just copy and paste. Injector scaling. This is another one you need your calculator for if you have changed your fuel injectors. And a lot of this stuff only matters if you've changed your fuel injectors. The like pulse multiplier and what was it? Fuel mass multiplier. Those you are going to have changes in even on stock injectors, because those are used to kind of trick the ECU into flowing the same amount of fuel through each injector, because no two injectors are exactly the same. But this injector scaling, that is going to be injector slope in HP tuners. They use different numbers. It's the same thing, same basic idea, but they use different math. So stock number on DynoJet was 100.485, and the number on HP tuners, or not HP tuners, the number with my fuel injectors I have, I've got 350cc injectors from I can't remember the name of the company. I think we're actually switching the company, or well, Andrew is, but I mean, I basically follow Andrew on all this stuff. He knows more than I do. And I was going to go my own way and just buy some fuel injectors for like my Trailblazer to throw in here, but everything I found it would have been way overkill. Everything I found that had all the settings for HP tuners. But he has since found a company that has all the information for HP tuners for each individual injector. So they will have a pre-made table for like your pulse multipliers and everything, apparently, from what he was telling me, if I understood it right. So that's pretty cool. But for now, on these injectors, we're going to figure out the difference between the stock and mine. So we're going to do 100.485. We're going to divide that by 78.390. And we did that the wrong way. Right? 78.390 divided by 100.485. You get 78% basically, or 0.78. So we're going to copy this number. Oh no, we need another calculator. So we're going to use HP Tuner's calculator as well. We will copy this. Dang it, I need the calculator. There we go. Calculator. Paste our injector slope number in here. And we're going to divide that. Or no, we're going to multiply it. I don't know why I'm recopying that. It should have already been copied. Hit paste, and we're going to multiply by this. Paste, multiply, and that is our new number. That is going to be really close. I did have to make some adjustments. I have been tuning my bike on HP already. I'm just going back and going through all this now that I know how to do it, to give you guys kind of an overview for anybody else that's wanting to use this software, because as far as I know, as far as I've been able to tell, I'm the only person using this software on these bikes. So you copy this number, paste it in there. This stuff's really easy, but I mean it can mess some stuff up, so you gotta be careful with it. So that's all of our fuel injector things. Idle speed, got some idle to do, so I don't know, I'm being idle. DynoJet does it as a decimal multiplied by 1,000. HP Tuners does it as a whole number. So this is one you're gonna have to type in. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It doesn't take that long. But what you can do, since both of these tables are the same, you can copy this one and paste it right into the drive table. So that's that. Idle speed 3D. I think that is your drive mode. Yep. And we basically just made this whole table 1,000. So we use the replace. From what Dwayne was telling me, this table is basically just where it starts catching the vehicle when you're coming down from, like if you're just coasting up to a stop sign, clutch in and everything. This is where it'll start adding fuel back in to keep the bike from dying. I think, I don't know. I could be wrong, I could be misunderstanding him, or just thinking about another table entirely. Engine displacement, so we gotta come to airflow, displacement. If you haven't done a big bore kit, you won't have to change this. I've got the big bore kit. So that's that. Speed limiters, we'll come back to that because that's in a different part of the software. we'll go ahead and knock out the VE table since we're right by it. So here's your VE table. And this is another one that's just a basic copy and paste. Like I said, there's not that much that's hard to do in this software, or even switching between the two softwares. It's just there's some little things you gotta pay attention to. Okay, then the speed limiters. It's gonna be in Speedo, I believe. Yeah, the speed limit versus gear. You can see all of these we just changed to 200. Nice and easy. So here, 200. And that's it. From here, you just close all this stuff out. You would save this as just your first actual tune file, and then this button right here, or nope, that's the read vehicle. This button right here writes it to the bike, and then from there, our next video will show you guys how to set up all the histograms and everything to do tuning on the fueling. I haven't really got into timing stuff yet. I've been kind of working towards it, but my fueling still isn't completely dialed in. It's still making, most of the table is really close, like 1% changes, if that, but there is still some that are making some like 10-15% changes in areas that I just generally don't ride the bike in. So once I get that stuff, once I get the fueling dialed in and not making drastic changes, then I will work on timing tuning, and I'll put out a video of how to set up all the histograms and everything for that. But yeah, that was basically just how to transfer a tune from DynoJet to HP Tuner. It's the only way I have found. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Hope maybe this is useful to some of you. And be cool to see more people using this software, so HP tuners will put some more support into it. Like the video, subscribe, leave a comment if there's anything you want me to go over on either DynoJet or HP tuners. I don't currently have a bike that's tuned on DynoJet, but I know a couple guys that do. They might let me use their bikes to answer some questions. So, yeah, I went over the next video, switching. Yep, I covered all my notes. I'm doing good. Hope you guys are doing good. I hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. I'm gonna edit this thing and upload it, so hopefully some of you guys will be in the live chat with me.